The Papal Basilica of St. Mary Major, known also by other names, is the largest Roman Catholic Marian church in Rome, Italy. There are other churches in Rome dedicated to Mary, such as the Santa Maria in Trastevere, Santa Maria in Arcoli, and Santa Maria Spora Minerva, but the greater size of Basilica of St. Mary Major justifies the adjective by which it's distinguished from the other 25. Here is the entrance into St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican, where the Pope resides. The Sistine Chapel is the best known in the Apostolic Palace, the official residence of the Pope in the Vatican City. It is famous for its architecture and its decoration that was frescoed throughout by Renaissance artists, including Michelangelo, Sandro Botticelli, Pietro Perugino, and Pinturicchio, and others. Under the patronage of Pope Julius II, Michelangelo painted 1,100 square feet of meters of chapel ceiling between 1508 and 1512. The ceiling, and especially the Last Judgment, is widely believed to be Michelangelo's crowning achievement in the painting. The Last Judgment is a canonical fresco by the Italian Renaissance master Michelangelo, executed on the altar wall of the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican City. The work took 4 years to complete and was done between 1536 and 1541. Michelangelo began working on it some 20 years after having finished the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Here is just a simple dome structure ceiling, which were very rare back then, but will also be included in the Pantheon later in this video. The Pieta is a masterpiece of Renaissance sculpture by Michelangelo, housed in St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. It is the first of a number of works of the same theme by the artist. The statue was commissioned for the French Cardinal Jean de Bellairs, who was a representative in Rome. The sculpture, in Carrara marble, was made for the Cardinal's funeral monument, but was moved to its current location, the first chapel on the right as one enters the basilica, in the 18th century. It is the only masterpiece of Michelangelo he has ever signed. The Papal Basilica of St. Peter, officially known in Italian as the Basilica Papale di San Pietro in Vaticano, and commonly known as St. Peter's Basilica, is a late Renaissance church located within the Vatican City. St. Peter's Basilica has the largest interior of any Christian church in the world. While it is neither the official mother church of the Roman Catholic Church, nor the cathedral of the Pope as Bishop of Rome, St. Peter's is regarded as one of the holiest Catholic sites. It has been described as holding a unique position in the Christian world, and as the greatest of all churches of Christendom. The Colosseum, originally the Flavian Amphitheater, is an elliptical amphitheater in the center of the city of Rome, Italy, the largest ever built in the Roman Empire. It is considered one of the greatest works of Roman architecture and Roman engineering. Occupying a site just east of the Roman Forum, its construction started in 72 AD under the Emperor Vespasian and was completed in 80 AD under Titus, with further modifications being made during Domitian's reign. The name Amphitheater Flavium derives from both Vespasian's and Titus's family name. Capable of seating 50,000 spectators, the Colosseum was used for gladiatorial contests and public spectacles such as mock sea battles, animal hunts, executions, reenactments of famous battles, and dramas based on classical mythology. The building ceased to be for entertainment in the early medieval era. It was later reused for such purposes as housing, workshops, quarters for a religious order, a fortress, a quarry, and a Christian shrine. Although in the 21st century it's still partially ruined because of the damage caused by devastating earthquakes and stone robbers, the Colosseum is an iconic symbol of the Imperial Rome. It is one of Rome's most popular tourist attractions and still has close connections with the Roman Catholic Church, as each Good Friday the Pope leads a torch-lit Way of Cross procession that starts in the area around the Colosseum. The Colosseum is also depicted on the Italian version of the 5-cent euro coin. Here is a door in the ancient ruins of Rome that was built approximately 1,800 years ago. Even through all that time, the door's lock, amazingly, still works. Julius Caesar's body was cremated, and on the site of his cremation, the Temple of Caesar was erected a few years later at the east side of the main square of the Roman Forum. Nowadays, only its altar remains. A life-size wax statue of Caesar was later erected in the Forum displaying the 23 stab wounds. A crowd who had gathered there started a fire, which badly damaged the Forum and neighboring buildings. The Trevi Fountain is a fountain in the Trevi district in Rome, Italy. Standing 26 meters high and 20 meters wide, it is the largest Baroque fountain in the city and one of the most famous fountains in the world. The Pantheon, which in Greek translates to every god, is a building in Rome, Italy, commissioned by Marcus Agrippa as a temple to all the gods of ancient Rome and rebuilt by Emperor Hadrian in about 126 AD. The building is circular with a portico of large granite Corinthian columns under a pediment. The rectangular vestibule links the porch to the rotunda, which is under a coffered, concrete dome, with a central opening, also known as an oculus, to the sky. Almost 2,000 years after it was built, the Pantheon's dome is still the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome. The heights of the oculus and the diameter of the interior circle are about 43.3 meters. It is one of the best preserved of all Roman buildings. It has been in continuous use throughout its history, and since 7th century, the Pantheon has been used as a Roman Catholic church dedicated to St. Mary and the Martyrs, but informally known as Santa Maria della Rotonda. The square in front of the Pantheon is called Piazza della Rotonda. Here is a picture of me out front of the Pantheon with two guys dressed in gladiator costumes. The picture after this one is my sister with the two same gladiators right outside of the Pantheon. The next two pictures are of Santorini, Greece, classically known as Thera and officially known as Thyra. It is an island in the southern Aegean Sea, about 200 kilometers southeast from Greece's mainland. It is the island of a small archipelago which bears the same name and is the remnant of a volcanic caldera. It forms the southernmost member of the Cyclades group of islands, with an area of approximately 73 kilometers squared and a 2001 census population of 13,670. The municipality of Santorini comprises the inhabited islands of Santorini and Thracia and the uninhabited islands of New Kamini, Palaeocamini, Apranisi, and Christiana. The total land area is 90,623 kilometers squared. Here you have my sister, my mom, and I standing on top of one of the volcanoes within the volcanic caldera in Santorini. This picture is just looking at one of the craters within the volcano where a possible eruption might have occurred. And in this last picture, you see me sticking my hand into the ground where there's an opening where you can still feel hot steam from the center of the earth. Here you have my sister and I standing atop of the 627 steps it takes to reach the top of the Santorini island. The Parthenon is a temple in the Athenian Acropolis in Greece, dedicated to the Greek goddess Athena, whom the people of Athens considered their virgin patron. Its construction began in 447 BC when the Athenian Empire was at the height of its power. It was completed in 438 BC, although the decoration of the Parthenon continued until 432 BC. It is the most important surviving building of classical Greece, generally considered the culmination of the development of the Doric order. Its decorative sculptures are considered some of the high points of Greek art. The Parthenon is regarded as an enduring symbol of ancient Greece and of Athenian democracy and one of the world's greatest cultural monuments. The Greek Ministry of Culture is currently carrying out a program of selected restoration and reconstruction to. The Parthenon itself replaced an older temple of Athena, which historians call the Pre-Parthenon or Older Parthenon, that was destroyed in the Persian invasion of 480 BC. The temple is archaeoastronomically aligned to the Pleiades. Like most Greek temples, the Parthenon was used as a treasury. For a time, it served as the treasury of the Delian League, which later became the Athenian Empire. Here you have a picture as we're walking into Pompeii, where you see the ancient ruins of it on the left. The city of Pompeii is a partially buried Roman town near the modern Naples in the Italian region of Campania in the territory of the commune of Pompeii. Along with Herculaneum, Pompeii was partially destroyed and buried under 4 to 6 meters of ash and pumice in the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. Here's a picture of my sister, my mom, and I, respectively, standing in an open field under the ancient ruins of Pompeii. This field was believed by historians to have been used for kids to play and chariot racing. The archaeological digs at the site extended the street level of the 79 AD volcanic event. Deeper digs in older parts of Pompeii and core samples of nearby drillings have exposed layers of jumbled sediment that suggest that the city had suffered from the volcano and other seismic events before then. 3 streets of sediment have been found on top of the lava that lies below the city, and mixed in with the sediment, archaeologists have found bits of animal bone, pottery shards, and plants. Carbon dating has relegated the oldest part of these layers to the 8th, 6th centuries BC, about the time that the city was founded. The other 2 strata are separated either by well-developed soil layers or Roman pavement and were laid in the 4th century BC and 2nd century BC. It is theorized that the layers of jumbled sediment were created by the large landslides, perhaps triggered by an extended rainfall. Here you have the molding of a man that was killed when Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD. Many others, like this man right here, were caught up in the ash and were frozen, and their bodies have been encased in this layer of ash. Within this layer of ash, his bones and other decayed organs will be inside, but have not been opened up to preserve the body itself. Here's another picture just like the one previous of this, to the man that was encased in the ash after Mount Vesuvius erupted. Much of the art within Pompeii at its time was very sexually erotic and very visual. So for safekeeping, when Pompeii was rediscovered, many of the paintings and frescoes were either plastered over or were thrown away or destroyed. Since then, many of them have been rediscovered and have been put back into place, and instead of being plastered, have just been covered with paper to preserve the paintings themselves. The Theatre of Pompeii was a structure in ancient Rome built during the late part of the Roman Republican era. It was completed in 7 years, starting from 55 BC, and was dedicated early in 52 BC before the structure was fully completed. It was one of the first permanent, non-wooden theaters in Rome. The building itself was a part of a multi-use complex that included a large quadripodicus directly behind the Sine Franz. Enclosed in the large column porticos was an expansive garden complex of fountains and statues. Along the stretch of covered arcade were rooms dedicated to the exposition of art and other works collected by Pompey Magnus during his campaigns. On the opposite end of the garden complex was a curia for political meetings. The Senate would often use this building along with a number of temples and halls that satisfied the requirements for their formal meetings. This is an infamous place as the place of Julius Caesar's murder by the Liberator. Mount Vesuvius is a stratovolcano in the Gulf of Naples, Italy, about 9 kilometers east of Naples and a short distance from the shore. It is the only volcano on the European mainland to have erupted within the last 100 years, although it is not currently erupting. The 2 other major active volcanoes in Italy, Etna and Stromboli, are located on the islands of Sicily and Stromboli respectively. Mount Vesuvius is best known for its eruption in AD 79 that led to the burying and destruction of the Roman cities Pompeii and Herculaneum. They were never rebuilt, although surviving townspeople and probably looters did undertake extensive salvage work after the destructions. The town's locations were eventually forgotten about until their accidental discovery in the 18th century. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed learning about my historic travels and some of the ancient times.